What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Isaac aka Movie Talkin', and there are now 9 toy Beatbox splits movies and shows, and I think it's about time we rank all of them from worst to best. These are just my opinions, and don't make my opinions on your favorite movies or shows change your perspective on them. I will not be counting the toy Beatbox splits, vines and shorts because they aren't in the main line of movies/shows. Starting off at the very bottom. It almost feels a bit mean to do this kind of video because June the Gotcha Wolf the movie has been bullied relentlessly for like 3 years now. For the record, I don't dislike June the movie, but it is my least favorite. Hence it being at the bottom of the list. The iconic characters and original story is my favorite part of it by far. It hasn't aged the best and compared to these other movies. June the Gotcha Wolf the movie feels cheap and garbage. But I gotta say I appreciate it because at the time it was groundbreaking. Next we have Deadshot High School. I know people love Deadshot High School, but it was just never one of my favorites. The soundtrack in my opinion is ass and the story was non-existent. And Scrap Glitch being the villain at the end never really made sense to me. Also Natsuki was made for absolutely no reason and we never really see her at the end. And the tone and setting was garbage, and if this movie didn't have Goldie in it, I'll probably put June the movie over this one. And the jokes did not land in my opinion, and the movie was boring and not that good. This seems to be a bit of an unpopular placement. I think most people don't like Deadshot's Pizzaland 2 as much as I do. Points definitely get taken away because the story ass, and as the movie soundtrack isn't great and Deadshot himself doesn't even appear until the end. And the teenage characters are dull and Alton himself has no real risk of danger, and the animatronics aren't really scary and are more goofy than they were in the original. But I'm just genuinely so impressed by how well crafted the fight scenes are. At the time Deadshot's Pizzaland 2 was amazing because the fight scenes was so amazing. Alton fighting these big-ass animatronics was so fun, and the gore in this movie is awesome. The final battle is so amazing and is the highlight of the entire movie, or maybe the entire Deadshot's Pizzaland series as a whole. The movie can get disturbing at times and is pretty funny rewatching it. It hasn't aged the best, but it is fast-paced and have some great fight scenes that are entertaining as fuck. This next one I think people has been way too harsh on is Deadshot's Pizzaland 1. In my opinion it's better than Deadshot's Pizzaland 2. The fights in this one I think is way more entertaining than the second and at times can get really creepy and disturbing. I know it aged like milk, but the voice acting is not that bad and the Shiloh fight scene is hilarious. Deadshot's Pizzaland 1 much scarier than I remember. And actually jump scared me at times. And some kills made me want to turn away because just how ugly it was to look at. It's great and horribly underrated, and I'm guilty of that myself, and I've really grown to love and respect this movie for what it is. There is a lot to say about Into the Depths of Glitch. We don't even have enough time to cover everything. This movie is actually a pretty good gotcha movie, but it's not a good toy Beatbox splits movie. As a prequel to the toy Beatbox splits, it fucking sucks. The story can get very confusing at times. And Caleb and Man is pretty much the only good thing about this movie. Suki is fucking irrelevant, and this movie is really boring and feels like homework to watch. But even though it has a lot of downs, the UPS are really great, like the Great Destroyers ending. That's pretty cool, and we actually see Mike Brandon for the first time, and we see the toy Beatbox splits as baby animals and the tragic death of Alton Spooner. It gets incredibly dark at times, and it fits as a origin story of Scrap Glitch and a origin story for the toy Beatbox splits. It also has the best opening out of all of these. And Scrap Glitch has a pretty cool design, probably even one of my favorites. But the 2-hour runtime is pretty awful. But Into the Depths of Glitch is pretty controversial and is the least rewatchable in the entire MonsterVerse franchise and the least rewatchable toy Beatbox splits movie period. But I do like it more than most of my friends do, hence why it's pretty high on the list. Now at number 4 we have Monster High. It is amazing. It is funny and fast-paced. Hope is a absolute beast and the story is okay. It is an improvement from the original movie Deadshot High School, and I think season 2 and the upcoming movie will be even better than this. The show was rushed and the first season should have been longer to fresh out everything. Deadshot and Hope would have been great to see, and more multiverse jumping could have been a lot of fun. And more lore reveals will have been amazing to learn, and if Deadshot was given more scenes than June and Hope, I probably would like this even more because Deadshot is pretty interesting. And I think the plot is very confusing. But at least this one has a real story, unlike Deadshot High School. This series is loved so much by Toy Beatbox Splits fans. Another reboot is in the works and I'm so excited for that. There are a lot of references to the original that really put a smile on my face while watching. Characters like Natsuki and Scrap Glitch even return. Even though it didn't really need them, it was still great to see these Natsuki again because she holds a special place in the hearts of fans, and I think that is really cool. I hope she appears in the new series and maybe she can be in the Monsterverse. Monster High is amazing and I cannot wait for season 2 coming this December. Now it might feel unfair to put the Freak Shows over the entire Monster High series, but come on. The Freak Shows is mildly different and is way more funny than Monster High in my opinion. The siblings are great and bloodshed is the highlight of the Freak Shows. Also the commercial is fucking hilarious and gory. The Freak Shows is the goriest movie in the entire Monsterverse franchise. The mystery of bloodshed is amazing and Andrew Payne is probably one of my favorite characters in the Monsterverse. It's incredibly underrated and I love it so much because how original and different it is compared to the other movies. The Freak Shows is absolutely fantastic and can't wait for the entire series to be released later this year. Even though I have praised it so much, these next two are even better. Now what is there to say that hasn't been said about the Toy Beatbox Splits? It's not only the movie that started up the Monsterverse franchise, it's also a really fantastic gotcha action movie even as a standalone. Although my opinions on the overall ranking changes from time to time, the top two haven't changed in the slightest. There's something about the original Toy Beatbox Splits movie that is just simply amazing and enjoyable. The introduction of the Toy Beatbox Splits is very incredible and Jocelyn is a great character. The designs of the Toy Beatbox Splits are iconic and are the best designs yet. Everything in the Toy Beatbox Splits was just put together in such a perfect way to create a thrilling and fun experience. The simple storytelling is not that bad and it is funnier than I remember it being. The director's cut of this movie is even better and the definitive way to watch this film. And the fight scenes are pretty entertaining and great. It's also hard to not feel nostalgic when you think about the mystery of this film. We hear about Mike Brandon for the first time and we're introduced to the funniest and best Toy Beatbox Splits characters, Caleb and Man-Man. And we hear during the Scrap Glitch and Woody fight about the disturbing past of the Toy Beatbox Splits. It was so new at the time and it was absolutely perfect at intriguing the audience. The Toy Beatbox Splits was not only a fantastic first film, but it was legitimately brilliantly crafted and was an amazing gotcha experience. However, there is one that still exceeds it. I don't think any gotcha movie could ever top the Monster 4. I don't know if it's possible. The brilliance of this film is what got me back into the Toy Beatbox Splits. The upgrade in writing and story was incredible. Caleb and Man-Man are my favorite characters in gotcha media. This is the funniest Toy Beatbox Splits movie. It feels like an opening to a bigger story that is yet to come. The writing feels so real and the action is probably a little bit better than the Toy Beatbox Splits. It is also the most rewatchable in the entire Monsterverse. It has great pacing and a great cast of characters and reveals some lore details. The fourth wall breaking is very funny and Data 1 and 2 are pretty great villains. Also the Toy Beatbox Splits don't show up too much. And the opening is very incredible. Also Kian is a very interesting character. I hope we get more of him in the future. The world building is so great. The cinematography in the Monster 4 is the best in the entire franchise. The Monster 4 is very entertaining, and it has fantastic gore. The designs of the Monster 4 on the other hand are pretty horrifying and amazing, probably better than the toy Beatbox Splits designs since they actually look like true big monsters. The Monster 4 it is undoubtedly the most underrated gacha movie period. The visuals, story, characters, are all fantastic and is an improvement from the toy Beatbox Splits. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how you do a sequel. It is very thrilling and fun to watch, and the increase in intrigue is truly phenomenal. It went from mentioning Mike Brandon and showing some small details about the toy Beatbox Splits past in first movie to showing Planet Glitch and the Emperor of the Multiverse and fully revealing King Glitch, as well as the actual story of the destruction of Planet Glitch. And revealing to us that Kian is the brother of Woody, and learning that Mike Brandon actually had a child of his own, Clover, the governor of New York City. The Monster 4 did such an excellent job at adding on to the original story, and it totally set the stage for what is to come in the future. Nothing is perfect, sure, but the Monster 4 is pretty damn close to being perfect. If this movie ever gets topped, that movie will be one of my favorite things to ever exist. I have a feeling it'll be impossible. And that right there is my ranking of every toy Beatbox Splits movie. That was all I have to say for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't get too mad at me if you hate that I put Deadshot High School at the bottom or something like that. I just have certain preferences. This is a video about my opinion on a gacha series. It's not all that serious, don't dox me or threaten to kill me, but in all seriousness, thank you guys for watching, and to June the Gacha Wolf and Deadshot Hater. Thank you so much for this incredible series. It's been a great 3 years and I love these characters so much. They hold a special place in my heart and many others. You guys do not know how popular the toy Beatbox Splits are in my middle school. It is amazing. Me and friends been showing everyone your amazing gacha films, and I hope you guys get even bigger and become one of the biggest gacha tubers of all time. I've been a fan since Cartoon Beatbox Battles fan made, and I am happy to see how far you guys have grown. You guys make a great team and I cannot wait for more toy Beatbox Splits content.